What's happening, friends? Welcome to Unlocked. It's episode 351 for here at the end of June 27th, 2018. We are back in action after E3. We did our big E3 recap last week. So this week, we're going to talk about a couple of new releases. Captain Spirit hitting for free this week, as well as Nier Automata for Xbox One. Also, Gears of War 5, name change. That's going to be for real. We'll talk about that. Razer, of all, interestingly, might be partnering up with Microsoft on that mouse and keyboard support that people have been waiting a long, long time for on Xbox One, and plenty more. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. To my right,
this week,
Brandon Tyrell. To my left, Alana Pierce.
Hi.
And on the end over there, Miranda Sanchez.
Hello, I'm filled with life now.
Yeah. And if you're watching on video and you see a dog butt appear at random times behind Brandon,
she's somewhere right
that'll be Daisy
Where
the
is
Boxer
she?
Puppy. She's
Behind you.
She's working on her stick chewy thing back there.
So cute.
Too big for the desk now.
Very too big. Very, very
She
big
got so
for the desk.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall.
Pulled out nicely. Over 50 pounds already.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow.
It's very
Rolling
beautiful.
right along.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow news week. So
Post E3, everyone's just kind of chill.
yeah, it seems like it. I want to get the bad news out of the way first, which is that this is Alana Pierce's final episode departing IGN. I will miss you dearly. You've been so fantastic on this podcast. You've been so great to work with. I wish you the best, but selfishly, don't go.
Well, yeah, Friday will be my last day. It's been awesome. I don't know what episode I started at, but
I'm not sure.
I could be interested to look that up. But I've been, since we were back in that crappy room. And
Yes.
all that, it's been a lot of fun. It's like my favorite part of the week. So I'll miss you guys a whole lot.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you, and we'll hopefully get to have you back on sooner than later. I mean, just because you're leaving doesn't mean you can't come back. So
I think there's an exciting
Come
reason
visit.
for me to come back
Open-
at some point.
Open door
Yeah.
policy.
But yeah.
Yes.
Haven't announced where I'm going yet, but I will soon, and I'll still be in the video game world. So you guys will see me around.
All right, well, let's make your last show a good one.
Yeah.
The news didn't cooperate. There's like nothing fun to talk about, but we'll do our best.
Right.
Of course, every time we say that, we end
Yeah.
up going for like an hour about nonsense.
Yeah, I was just
Have
gonna
fun
say,
we can-
anyway.
can make
screw
it
it.
happen.
Top 10 Alana memories, go.
yeah.
That time she fell asleep at E3. That
Yeah.
other time she fell asleep at E3.
Yeah, well, that's two. Come on.
We got a top 10 started. But yeah, let's start off. I want to remind everybody, Forza Horizon 4, one of the stars of E3. It is a home run series every single time. We're covering it all month long as part of IGN First. Our UK team, along with our absolute racing expert guru, supreme awesome guy, Luke Riley, out of our Australian office.
It's quite a
went out-
title.
Yeah.
It looks good on a business card
Yeah.
as well.
The long business card.
They all went out to Playground Games in the UK before E3, did a whole bunch of stuff. My favorite thing probably so far that just went up this week is we've done this with other games before, but it's particularly great with this game, is Real Life Britain versus Forza Horizon 4
Yeah.
Britain. They actually went out to a ton of landmark locations around Britain, including there's one in Edinburgh too, in Scotland, where they did like a shot-for-shot thing
Yeah.
with the game, and it's like, the game is ridiculous.
It's really cool. I saw the one with the church or
Yeah.
the landmark of some sort.
Yes.
It looked kind of like the Dom from Cologne, Germany. But the only difference between the two is the fact that the real life one has like more pedestrians and t-shirts walking around.
Yeah.
They are startlingly similar.
Yeah. So check all that out if you would on IGN and YouTube as well.
Good website.
Proud of it.
It's a good website. There's a lot of cool people.
I like
there.
it.
Yeah. And then IGN Unfiltered, I want a personal plug here. The new episode for June, saved it till well after the E3 storm had calmed down. It's Josh Sawyer, the longtime design lead over there at Obsidian, one of the leads on Fallout New Vegas, a lot of good Fallout stories. We talk about the Aliens RPG that they were working on before it got canceled. They did Pillars of Eternity more recently, which is also a fantastic RPG. So really good stuff. That was, if you want to check that out, again, on IGN, YouTube, or in that case as well, it's also in podcast form. So please do take a listen and or a watch. Now, Captain Spirit, the Life is Strange spinoff, is out for free this week. Alana, you've had the chance to check that out.
Yeah.
How is it?
I think it's based in the Life is Strange universe, but it's not technically an episode of Life is Strange. I don't think they would tell me. I believe it's set just before Life is Strange 2.
Okay.
And I think it's very sweet. I don't know that it's my kind of game, but it's very sweet in that you play as this kid who is walking around this house. It's like a usual morning. It's sometime before Christmas in December, and he's like talking to his dad about going to get a tree or whatever. But basically, his dad is seemingly slightly an alcoholic and just starts watching a game. So he has all this time that he has to burn. And it seems like basically he has this imagination that is Captain Spirit, is a superhero. But the thing that I couldn't figure out is if he actually has the powers that you see, or if he's imagining them and you're seeing a kid's imagination. Like, is he actually making his toys move, or is that what's happening in his mind as he's playing with his toys? And I think it's really sweet. And that part of it, I don't know, it seemed wholesome. It's kind of endearing.
It's almost a little Calvin and Hobbes-ish.
A little.
Like Stupendous Man.
Yeah, mechanically, it's very similar to the Life is Strange games. There are a couple of updates. They were very proud of the fact that hair now moves. So I believe they're running on a new engine. And you can also now complete an action while there is dialogue. So you're not automatically locked into a dialogue sequence. You can still walk around while talking and stuff like that. And it's a little more open-ended, or a lot more open-ended. It almost seems like a small sandbox world where you can approach things in different orders and do things in different ways. So I think a lot of people who like adventure games will like this. I hadn't seen this part.
You can't beat
Ooh.
free.
What's going on there? It's probably in his mind. Yeah, it's free. I think their idea is, I mean, Dontnod's working on a lot of games right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think their idea is that they want to get people into Life is Strange for Life is Strange 2, but also they were saying that they'd love for this to be an adventure game that people get into who don't like this kind
Is
of
this
game.
a one episode thing?
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a complete
one-off?
package. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think they said it was supposed to be like 3 hours or so, but the idea is it's very replayable based on what choices you make
Cool.
and what outcomes you get to. So,
You know, there's going to be like a branching pseudo narrative, like a pseudo series in the Life is Strange universe.
it has references to Life is Strange.
Which we are collecting for our wiki, by the way.
Shout out to
Shout out.
IGN.
Plug.
So it has a lot of references to Life is Strange, and I actually expect that Chris will show up as a character in Life is Strange too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kid. So I think that will happen, but yeah, I don't actually know. They were very quiet about that. I imagine people who finished it by now automatically kind of have guessed more than I can tell them. But
Right.
it's definitely something to check out if you are interested in a cute little narrative experience.
Well, and we complain a lot too, justifiably so, about the lack of summer releases.
Yeah.
Here's a free good thing
Yeah.
for the summer,
down
a
for
3-hour game.
A day, one
Yeah,
Saturday. Have a good afternoon.
yeah, can't beat that. And then Nier has made its way
Yeah.
to the Xbox as well
Yay.
after a bit of
This actually kind of shocked me. I really didn't expect this to end up on Xbox, but I guess after Hellblade, it's like anything feels possible now. Did anyone else play it?
Yes.
I haven't gotten to play it yet.
I
played it?
played through the first ending, and I know that game has 25 endings, and like you got to get through them all in order to get the real nut of the story.
You
know?
only need to play through the first 6, which is less.
Oh.
It's
No,
less.
but
It's
I
less
think-
than it sounds.
1/6 of
Yeah.
the way there.
No, because the first playthrough, and this is something that is worth mentioning for any Xbox players who are jumping into this playing it for the first time, that you do need to play beyond the first ending, because the first playthrough was just like the game's fine. The second playthrough, it's like, oh, you made the fine game way more interesting, and then the last 3, which are really short, like even an hour a piece, are crazy interesting. So
Right.
it's like it gets so good.
So usually when games have multiple endings like this, there are ways for it to guide you to those. I mean, like, hey, maybe the first 2 runs are similar-ish, but then after that, because it's trying to get you through those endings, it's going to be easier to complete every time. So whenever you hear a game has like 6 endings like this, at least with my experience with a lot of these games, it's just like you're going to make
Yeah.
it through differently. It's going to be quicker as
It's
along.
not anywhere near as intimidating as it sounds.
Yeah,
and
so
I
just do
actually
it.
did waste a lot
Go
of
for it.
time trying to get some of the other endings. Most
Yeah.
of the 25 are just jokes.
It sounds very intimidating, honestly, for
It's
someone
not.
sitting here
I
not
totally
knowing
get
about the
that.
game.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a 20-hour game.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just
It's 20 hours to finish the entire game.
Yeah, I don't
Think
remember
about it
how
that
long it took me to beat the first one, A ending.
I
if you
think
will.
A is like
But
10 hours or
Yeah,
so.
it wasn't like prohibitively long.
yeah.
And I imagine if each one after that, it's like, all right, you already know all this. Now we're gonna start you here.
Yeah, and I get that because like there's a lot of apprehension with restarting something, especially if something has like multiple endings
Yeah.
or many endings. Yeah, multiple
Yes.
endings. Anyway,
Yeah, you
I
only
think,
restart it once technically. So
Yeah.
you play through A as one character, B through as another character, and then. So, I mean, there are multiple characters you play as, but it just every ending adds on to the story a lot, and I wouldn't recommend Nier to everyone. It's very much a platinum game. Like I love Vanquish and I love Bayonetta and I love
Yeah.
those kind of games. So it's like fast paced, action paced, kind of ridiculous. And I don't think that necessarily everyone will like that. But if you're okay with that kind of stuff, I can't recommend it more highly. The story is incredible. The way that
Bonkers, right?
it's crazy, but in a way that like it makes sense. It's crazy in a way that doesn't seem cheap, and it deals with a lot of really interesting themes. Like this, basically every current theme this game tackles in a really interesting way. And there's a lot of really cool characters, and I got really, really attached to it. And the ending is the ending 6 is really, really good.
Ending of 6.
My big thing is like if you want to see more games like this on Xbox, please play it on Xbox.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, especially Platinum. Like, and it's Yoko Taro, who's like one of my favorite game directors at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
So
all
don't
right as relevant.
be intimidated by the endings.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
20-hour game. Just think about it that way, and then it just repeats itself. But yeah, it's I think we gave it like an 8.7 or something. It was Megan Sullivan who reviewed it actually. I probably would have given it a higher score than that. In that, there's stuff that happens in ending or in playthrough A that then B shines more light on. So you do this stuff in A that you then learn more about in B, and you're like, oh, I did something kind of evil, and I didn't realize that. I thought that I was just the hero, and then you get this more context because another character has a different ability that can give you more context, and it's like, oh,
Like really realizing all those consequences and getting through it.
pretty much.
All right.
Being distracted by dogs.
Again, summer games. Can't complain.
Also, Dark Souls Remastered. I know that came out a while ago, but
Yeah.
just shout out because I finished that recently. And it was
Nice
very
job.
How was it?
good. I liked it a whole lot.
I mean, in
Liked the
terms of like
story.
performance and
Um,
frame rates.
it looked
and
really
such.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything played really well.
It actually looks surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite boss?
I like Seath a lot.
Nice.
I know it's like a more simple fight, and it's really easy just to like you just run around the room and get some hits in and then run around because he curses you. But I liked Seath's design a lot.
Yeah.
And like the whole Duke's what was it, like Duke's library or
The Duke's Archives?
Archives.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not a library.
Yeah.
Duke's Archives was just like a really neat area. And
Yeah.
the thing I guess I like about Dark Souls is that every area feels so unique in how it's designed and how
Really
you have to like
distinct. Yeah.
interpret it. And so I think making it through is just a lot of fun.
I love
Summer games.
I love the like invisible crystals that you're walking through on the way to
Yeah.
It reminded me of Indiana Jones, where he's like he walks across the invisible pillar, but it turns out it just is camouflaged in the other side of the wall.
Right. Yeah. I hated fighting the moonlight butterfly though. That made me very sad. I don't want to kill it.
Oh, that's right.
I think I like that about Dark Souls, and that sometimes you don't feel like you're necessarily making the right choice.
Yeah.
like-
But you're forced to.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this world hates you. So
Yeah, deal with it. Buckle up.
anyway, yeah, it's a very neat game.
Awesome.
Is there
shout out.
anything else out this month that was Vampire? Captain
Well,
Spirit?
we did
Yeah.
miss during E3 Unravel 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Right.
Which I've started, and I super like it so far. I haven't had a chance to finish it.
I haven't
though.
checked it out yet.
I got home, I was like super excited to play Unravel 2, started it, and then I went, wait, I forgot I didn't finish Detroit Become Human before E3. So now I'm back to that, and I'll finish it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm on
I
all
think I
night.
need to go back to State of Decay just because it's fun.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
planning to.
Oh.
That's my,
Yeah.
my
And
it's
exact
gotten-
plan next week.
It's gotten some updates as well. Some
yeah,
new things
they had a
out.
huge update
Yeah.
and like fixed a lot of stuff. So
Gonna be unemployed for a bit. I'm just gonna play a lot of State of Decay. It's gonna be great.
let's play Sea of Thieves.
Yes,
wanna
let's
do
do
that.
that.
I haven't played since the update.
I just finished beating Ori and the Blind Forest for the first
Oh,
time.
nice.
Nice.
I started it years ago.
Late to the party. Hello.
I started it. Sorry, a dog just ambushed me. I started it years ago and never finished, and then just finished over the week. And holy crap, guys! Like
It's a real good game.
what a great
So
game.
good.
It is so good. It's beautiful. The sound design is amazing. The movement is so fluid. But what I really like walked away feeling was like, despite how technical it was, it still felt so good to move. There are
Hard too.
It's
And the water tower. What's
Yeah.
up?
water tower legitimately took me 4 or 5 tries to get through.
Oh yeah. 4 or 5's not even that much.
Oh,
It's hard.
I was just like, God,
Pro
I
gamer
know what I
over
have
here.
to do. Why can't I hit it?
Yeah.
But there are legitimately levels where you just have to like use the enemies to propel yourself through.
Yeah.
So smart, and it is so gorgeous. And the story is really nice too. Like in the beginning, I was like, all right, that didn't make me cry. Because I remember people being like, oh, when you play Ori, it's going to make you cry in the beginning. Get ready. And I was like, I mean, yeah,
I
it's
didn't at the
sad.
beginning either, but the end is.
We're just
yeah.
heartless.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it's sad, and then at the end, you're just like, oof. It's really good. I cannot wait to play Will of the Wisps. Like legitimately,
It looks
I'm,
really good.
I'm not a big platformer guy, but I played it at E3 a
Yeah,
little
say
bit.
we both played it.
Yeah, I played it at E3. It felt so amazing because when I first played Ori, I had never gotten to the part where you have all this crazy crap.
Yeah.
you know. And then I played Will of the Wisps, and I'm like, dude, you are just loaded for bear. I can jump and backflip and dig through dirt, and that made me want to go back and play Ori again. And now that I'm finished Ori, I want to just go back and play Will of the Wisps again. So it's this weird vicious cycle that I can't get away from. Thank you, Moon
Well,
Studios.
be prepared for you to probably start without all those powers at the beginning
Yeah,
of the
I imagine
Wisps.
so.
Got to earn it.
That's what's crazy. When I was upgrading, I specifically went for like movement and efficiency. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going for the double jump first thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So it's really cool that you can actually tailor that experience.
2019 for Will of the Wisps.
We'll
see when
Gotta
it,
wait a
when it
bit.
I'm
turns
hoping
up.
for spring, right?
I would think so, because that would be like 3 years since the first one came out in March, if memory serves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
February
about
22nd
right.
feels like a good day for that game to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? February 27th.
Nothing else going on at the end of
That's
February.
fine. It's quiet.
Oh yeah, nothing at all.
This
I love
joke
this.
is
This
going
dog
not.
being in him means that we keep. It's like we keep getting rewarded.
Yeah.
Like she's just walking between us, and we're like, "Oh, a dog!" It's like constantly just
pleasant.
like, "Ah."
It's like, sorry, we're making bad
Well,
jokes.
I
but-
won't. I'm not gonna unhook the leash. She's.
What's
No,
crazy
yeah.
because before we started recording, she's just asleep, and now she's like,
Yeah, now she's
y'all, what y'all talking about?
What's up? What's
Y'all
up?
talking about video games?
Because she was wandering behind the video wall last time when I didn't have her, so I was like, "Fine, we can't do that. So you need to just hang
this
out
is
back
great.
here."
Yeah, I like
Okay, Gears 5. We talked on our recap show about, hey, well, Gears of War 4 was unveiled as Gears 4 and became Gears of War 4 by the time things came out. Talked about that exact thing last week, but it turns out that history will not be repeating itself this time, which I thought was. I'm neither upset nor stoked. I'm just sort of, I don't know if confused is the right word. I'm a little unsure of what to make of this. So
That makes sense to me.
yeah.
let's talk about it. So
I
when
also in our defense, I did like when we were talking about this, I did ask a PR person who works at Microsoft during E3. I was like, "Is it Gears 5 or Gears of War 5?" They're like, "Oh, it's Gears of War 5." So it's not just us who's confused.
well,
Well, the franchise is still Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
yes. So I tweeted out when the podcast goes live. I tweeted out. That's standard promotional practice. Rod Ferguson kindly replied.
All right, hold on one
Breaking
second.
things up.
What is she
Your
doing
dog is
back
doing
here?
barrel rolls under here.
I think she's fine.
The studio head at the Coalition, Rod Ferguson, kindly replied to me and said, hey, it's just Gears 5. That's what's going to be on the box. Gears of War is still the franchise name, but now that we're doing a family of products, it made more sense to shorten the titles down. Gears Pop, Gears Tactics,
That's smart.
and Gears 5. Plus, we always just call it Gears anyway, so it feels good to simplify.
That's true.
I
also,
think
just
this
call
makes
it Gears.
perfect sense. Like, we don't call it Gears of War. We call it Gears. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't see any issue with this. Has anyone been angry about it on the internet?
Well, no, I mean, I will say a lot of the responses to that in my Twitter timeline were, now maybe it was just the initial thing, and of course people are just gonna, it's like when the Xbox 360 was named the Xbox 360, everybody was like, that's ridiculous, this is terrible, oh my God,
Yeah.
what's happening?
Well,
And
even
then
the
you
Xbox
just,
One, and then we were like,
Yeah.
you just get
2
used
weeks
to it.
later, we're like, oh, Xbox One.
But yeah, the initial reaction was not, I would say it was at least 50-50 in opposed to the change.
I'd be interested to see the perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, it's people hate change, right?
Yeah.
Like when you leave and I have to bring someone else in here, people be like, the new cast sucks because they're not used to it.
Right.
When you guys, when the two of you showed up, it was like, bring back Destin.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I love you guys. So
Don't even talk to me about taking over the Daily Fix. Oh boy, that was an event.
Yeah, I can.
But yeah,
I can.
I think
sympathize.
shortening it to Gears 5. I don't know. From a marketing perspective, I think this makes sense.
I mean, when I search for Gears stuff, I just do Gears and then whatever, not Gears of War and then blah blah blah. blah.
Right.
I
mean,
mean, Gears 5 is just an easier
Yeah.
search term.
I don't want to overanalyze it, but I wonder if now that God of War is also back as a thing, if maybe they just kind of wanted to avoid not
GOW.
that it's a competition, but just like
Yeah.
general casual gamer brand confusion. You don't want somebody to think, I want that cool game, the God of War. Oh yeah, here it is. That's this bearded guy in Norse for like, yeah, I'm gonna get this one. And no, you actually meant Gears of
The other bearded guy.
Dang it, Mom!
yeah.
You bring up a good point. Way back in the day, my best friend and I, he was a PC gamer and I was an Xbox gamer, and Half-Life 2 and Halo 2 were out at the same time, so we would like get into fights about which H2 was better, because
funny, in my-
that's what kids do.
Yeah. In my brain, I used to say God of War was GOW, but then when Gears came out, Gears became GOW.
It inherited the acronym.
Yeah, it's just like replaced it in my mind.
I don't think it has anything to do with competition. I think it's probably more just to differentiate the three products. And
Right, and like the reasoning of having it as a family of products as opposed to just one thing, and they all fall under the Gears of War umbrella makes a lot of sense.
I also like I a lot of the times when something that I love is franchised that hard and that they will make a statement being like, well, it's easier for us because we're making all these different things with this product. I like the Gears of War universe so much that I have no problem with that. Like, you guys can make a million things out of it. Maybe don't make a movie. I'm a little bit scared of that. I'd be very excited about the
always-
announcement, but I'm like, please don't screw it up. Please don't screw it up.
always
Please don't screw it up.
Of those kinds of movies.
Well,
Just
if
like
it's
we've been
anything like the
beaten by
Halo
too many
movie,
movies.
it'll be a while.
I
So.
guess, but I guess I just don't understand. Like, I kind of get what Rod's saying, except why can't the mainline game still be Gears of War, and then the other things are Gears Pop?
I guess
and
the
Gears
point is that it
Tactics?
doesn't make a difference. Like, why?
Maybe
does it
not.
matter?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
And maybe
Like I
just
said,
going
it's-
back to everyone just says Gears anyway.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of these
so-
things are dictated by search terms. So it's
I mean, that's
if they
exactly
saw
what I
that
was
more
saying, is,
people
like,
search
when-
for Gears.
You search, it's just going to be Gears 5 as opposed to Gears
Fair
of War
point.
5. Like, that's just
Yeah,
the
good
way
point.
of the world now.
But
with
it,
it.
it does take it kind of takes some guts to take a 12-year-old IP that you've grown from scratch and just not throw it away, but sort of set it aside.
change it in a
yeah,
way.
change
Yeah.
it.
Unless the word of and wars or war was so useless in that thing, right? Because
Yeah, maybe.
like they were saying, SEO is so strong. Like, does it take courage to drop the last 2/3 of the brand if they aren't what is being searched?
Yeah, and there's so many things that are like of war now that I think just having a Gears is just a very solid, hey, this is our identity. It's like part of it. Like, obviously, that's what we just call it anyway, as we've said a few times already. So
It's weird though because for any, I'm sure this is 10 years away, but like if they stick with calling it Gears, for any newcomers to the series, Gears means so much less than Gears of War. Like the literal Gears of War
Oh,
is like
sure.
they are gears in a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whereas this Gears is like, what is this game? Is
Oh,
this
yeah,
like
put
Ratchet
the-
and Clank?
play
What
for,
is-
through the first 4 and then get to 5. And
Yeah.
you'll understand.
yeah.
Well, it does beg the question too. If you're talking about we've sort of handed off the to the next Phoenix generation and
Yeah.
and Kate and
Now a whole new protagonist.
yeah. So it's like, at what point are we going to drop numbers in this one? Like we've dropped numbers in Halo.
It seems like 5's a good number to drop. Like when did
It does seem to be about as far as people are. Halo. That's as far as Halo is willing to go.
Because I think in your head at a certain point,
Halo's
it's like
still-
this is too many, except Final Fantasy.
So if anything, the name change thing, Halo feels more strange to not have a number than Gears just dropping of war. If we're getting down to
Halo's. It's
comparisons.
just I think when you go into a store and you're like, oh, there are 6 of these games.
no, for
Oh,
sure.
boy.
Like it's like
Yeah.
that intimidation of not knowing where to start. But the thing is, because there is a starting point for these, unlike Final Fantasy or something, which are just new iterations almost every
a good
time.
point.
right.
Standalones, yeah.
Yeah, and so like with this, having that number makes sense because there's a chronological order to playing these. So, I mean, maybe they're outfitting Halo Infinite's story to be more open so that you can kind of just jump in. But
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I think just the
No one
number
knows.
7 seems like too much. It just seems like too many
Well,
of a thing.
I
Like,
mean-
7 is the point where it's like, think about it. When did
makes-
Assassin's Creed stop? 4? I think it was Assassin's
Oh,
Creed 4 Black
Yes,
Flag.
correct.
Yep.
And then never again.
GTA 5. I wonder. I would expect they call it 6. GTA 6.
See,
when the
again,
time comes
Rockstar
around.
doesn't obey the rules.
That's
They'll
true.
be fine no
that's-
matter
they
what.
are definitely the outlier. They're the exception to the rule.
You just have to have GTA.
Yeah, hey, that's making Red Dead Redemption 2, even though it's the 3rd game in the series. It's like they
Also
do
true.
whatever they want.
That is a fact.
I would actually love to see. I know there's tons of firms out there that do this sort of marketing research, but I would love to see statistics or somebody just explain why numbering of a game, the cause and effect, the causation of game numberings in a series. I mean, because you go back to Battlefield, right?
You could do that yourself. You are a journalist.
No,
No, I'm good. I got
I'm
stuff to do.
I'm a writer.
Got the
I'm
senior
not a
writer. She's
journalist.
telling you, she's like, well, I'm not doing it. I'm out of here. So
I'm
you
leaving.
do
You
it.
have to do it now.
But you go 1942, and then what was it? 1943,
Oh,
2142,
Right.
Battlefield
Yeah.
2,
1,
Battlefield
Bad
3,
Company 2.
Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. Ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering there is a money explanation for that. There is a financial reason that stuff is happening, and I wonder what it is.
You know what? I'm just really excited to play Gears 5.
yes.
Yeah, we went on.
good
to.
news.
For
Nice.
sure. And I wonder if Gears 6 then will focus on Dell. If we've gone.
This is
Maybe.
Kate's story.
Miranda's like, no, no, it's Kate. No, not having it.
I said six.
What are they gonna name it?
It would be weird. It's like, no, I was gonna say a spoiler. It's fine. You're like, maybe it's him too. What?
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. Next up, mouse and keyboard support has been something of a hot topic within parts of the community on Xbox because it's been, I don't know if promised is the right word, but it's been mentioned a number of times that it's coming. And Windows Central with a scoop saying they've got some information suggesting that Razer, the peripheral manufacturer, might be partnering up with Microsoft to help get that keyboard and mouse support off the ground. So Windows Central has acquired leaked documents pointing to Microsoft and Razer working together on this. Earlier this year, they reportedly gave developers a presentation about keyboard and mouse support coming to Xbox One, and at the time was planning to integrate it into the Xbox One dev kits in April. Full release was planned to follow in the fall, so it's not clear if this plan is still the case or not. So, I'm not sure why Microsoft needs Razer in this, and I don't mean that to disparage Razer, but only Microsoft is quite a well-known keyboard and mouse manufacturer themselves.
I think that they would probably be going with. I would think Razer is one of the go-to brands in your head for gaming peripherals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get that gaming peripheral brand.
Yeah, I
Makes
agree.
sense.
I don't think Microsoft really is in that space. The sort of
They used to be.
gamer grade. space,
Yeah, I
or
don't
whatever
think
you
of
wanna
them.
I
like,
love
as
my old
peripherals.
remember when laser mice first started coming onto the scene from.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I remember this.
most of you might be too young to remember.
no, optical?
actual ball.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I had many of those. Yeah.
But
We had to
yeah,
use, like,
the Microsoft IntelliMouse 3.0.
And they get stuck
is
all
one
the
of the
time and you have to flip
with
them.
like
Yeah,
this
just-
blood red glow on the bottom was
Yeah.
one of the first like awesome laser mice that I used for. That was a lot of Diablo happened with that mouse.
A lot
I
of
have
Diablo happened.
Yeah.
I have never known the manufacturer model of a peripheral iPhone.
Hey, that's
That's
clearly
impressive.
Didn't care enough.
No, I didn't.
Well, I actually, all of
not.
my gear is Razer. So for me, I'm like, does this mean that it's going to, all the existing stuff might be compatible? Probably not, but that'd be really cool because my headset, my mouse, my keyboard are all already Razer. And
Yeah.
Well, what did
I
it
like
say?
them a lot.
Yeah, it says it will be compatible with USB devices unless they have external drivers, right?
But I wonder if it's a current thing. 'cause
Maybe
my keyboard's
yeah,
pretty old.
Maybe it's like an iOS thing, like your device has to support
Exactly.
iOS
I have like a
7 or
Black
higher.
Widow.
Yeah,
from like
my
2012 or
keyboard has like 2 USB plug-in things. Like it's
Yeah.
probably too much
Yeah, me
for
too.
an Xbox. But that'd be weird to have mouse and keyboard on your Xbox. And I was just like, Dota?
Has it
But
not happened before?
Yeah, they've
Wasn't
Yeah.
this the thing with the 360 that you could do?
It wasn't official. It was
wa-
official.
Yeah.
No, well, God, it wasn't called the Wavebird. What was it? It was like UXD or something.
Yeah, I remember, but I forgot.
They had a well-known third-party manufacturer was creating this way for you to plug in your mouse and keyboard into a console without the console detecting that it's a different peripheral. And of course, like it was all over in online shooters and stuff like that.
Well,
because
that's
of
the thing that
extra
concerns
precision.
me about this is if we're suddenly going to have Xbox Ones that are running keyboards and mouses, I wanted to say mice, then how is that going to work for first-person shooters? Is
Yeah,
there going to be a
that's-
lobby for either?
That's always my worry because like the nice ones that do have are crossplay between PC and Xbox have been nice of to mostly sort those lobbies out and be like, hey, you don't have to play against people on PC because they obviously have the advantage. But I don't know what they would do with this.
If this is an officially supported
Strange.
thing, it's very simple for the console to know
They'll detect.
which one's which and then go ahead and split
wonder-
people up into different lobbies.
I'd be kind of concerned about that for certain games that have smaller,
Yeah, I agree with that. It's
Players.
dividing the community.
Fracturing
right? And it's
player
like,
base.
even fracturing even further. So it's like when
True.
just think about like if that happened with Titanfall, that would be bad when Titanfall
Yeah.
2 came out, just because that was already such a small player group anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could do that.
I think for Halo it'd be cool. Like I would like to try Halo with a mouse and keyboard. Like actually like give that a proper.
See, I played a lot of Halo PC,
Yeah.
which Gearbox
never
did,
did.
by the way. That was one of Gearbox's early projects. I did play a ton of it because they added 6 additional maps to it,
Yeah.
which and most of those 6 maps were really good. But it never quite
Doesn't
felt
feel
right
right?
to me.
It would be hard to get used to.
Yeah.
Like even when I play Halo at like someone else's house or something, and the controller scheme isn't set up the same way that I'm used to, I'm
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
What's happening?
it'll take me like half an hour to get used to it. I'm like, it's almost like I could change the controller layout, but I don't.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
It's,
Power through it.
It's almost as if
Sometimes
there's
you just
a
have to
menu
suffer.
setting for that.
Very convenient menu setting. Yeah. It's very simple.
All right. Real quick, I know it might be the only sports game player here.
When I saw
Oh,
this
no.
on the dock, I was like, all right, Ryan, we'll give you
your
one.
eyes are gonna just roll
Like,
in the back of your
have
head.
fun.
So
Oh yeah,
EA announced
this
their-
franchise. Yes, you are.
yeah, their cover athlete for
excuse
NBA
me.
Live this year.
Thank you.
For NBA Live 19, it's Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the obvious thing, and fair in some ways, is like, oh God, why is EA still doing this? Like, it's got to cost a fortune to continue licensing the NBA brand and making, every year making another sim basketball game when they've had some serious issues in the
Yeah.
last, we're actually pushing the better part of a decade at this point.
Suppose they just sell well enough.
But that's my question is I wonder in the sense that, like, we know 2K sells 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million
It
units
is
a year.
always in the top 10 games.
It's huge. It's not just in North America too. It's huge in China. The NBA is big there. But I guess I don't know what the sales are. But I saw this today and I went, you know what? I want to at least give credit to EA for just sticking with it, because yeah, it is easy to say like maybe they should just pull the chute and bail out of this. But if they keep chipping away at it, like, and it's already gotten better from when they finally relaunched it after the real bumpy period a few years ago. Like, hopefully we'll get to the point again where we have 2 really good sim NBA games, because that just means we win. That's
It's good to have a
Yeah.
competition.
that was like 2010 was the last time, and NBA Live 10 and NBA 2K10. That was the last time, and then NBA EA fell apart with their game, and it's been
Look, we know that
weird ever since.
EA is totally willing to cut studios if they're doing something that doesn't work. So what I would guess with this is that maybe the fan base who does play NBA Live every year spends a lot of money on microtransactions. Like FIFA
Right.
is supposedly their most profitable product.
Ultimate Team. Yeah.
Right, on sales, but
Right.
also they make, I think it's like $500 million a year alone was the estimate for how much they make just off of Ultimate Team. So basically, if NBA Live doesn't sell that well, EA are very, very, very good at getting people to repeatedly play the same thing and have them buy their stuff. So if it's just funding itself on microtransactions, and I think everything EA does is about stakeholders more than it is about gamers or sales. Like, they really just want the stocks to be good. And I would imagine this is a situation where it's like, well, FIFA does this. Our investors care about the fact that FIFA does this and keeps getting us more and more money. So let's continue to do this and continue to like iterate on what our microtransaction program is, and just it's profitable.
I don't disagree with that as a viable theory. I wonder, you're making me wonder too, is another like semi-cynical business thought is maybe they're locked into like a long-term contract with the
So
NBA.
that's
and
what
it's
I
like-
thought too.
And it's maybe it would be a bigger waste of money to not make
Break
a
the
game.
contract. Yeah.
That's what I thought too, which is why we get like shitty sequels every couple years for franchises that didn't perform super well, because then they lose the license.
Now I
Yeah,
know
maybe.
there are listeners right now sitting there having the following thought: well, why doesn't EA just use the NBA license to bring back NBA Street,
Or
Yeah.
which
Jam.
everybody
Oh,
loves?
yeah, those would be
because
so fun.
then it's like it's a compliment to NBA 2K, and it could still. I guess it must just be back to your point
Again,
the sales ceiling on NBA
EA
Street.
functions
is
so
lower.
much like they function so much as a business. Like, I feel like they, more than almost anyone else in that
Activision.
True, Activision, Blizzard are
guys,
up there as well.
Ubisoft, like any big
Well, but
name
I think that,
publisher.
like, how we find EA's press conferences boring. It's just because their press conferences are focused on stakeholders, whereas I don't think the others are necessarily as much like that.
I mean, that's why Ubisoft opens with Just Dance every year. That
Yeah.
They sell-
franchise
you know, it's
still
gonna
makes
sell
money.
well.
Yeah.
But I
Still
think
put it out on the Wii.
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an audible gasp in the war room when you're like, the Wii?
It's really
Brand
strange.
new game.
But I imagine this is a thing where even on Street, they're like, well, NBA 2K sells this well. No, the business thing is we want you to sell as well as that. We know that product that you are trying to replicate sells that well, and
Right.
they can make that much money and do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's how they function.
but we'll see. I hope Live 19 is good. We'll find out. Usually there's a summer preview event down at EA for that and Madden and maybe NHL too. So
Is Pro Evolution Soccer in the top 10 selling games of the year?
I don't know if I know it does extremely well. I think it's crushed. I think it gets crushed by FIFA, but it still sells huge. Like both
Yeah.
of those
Yeah.
soccer
I wonder
franchises
if we're
are
just
enormous.
underestimating NBA. Like, I know that, people tend to be PES or FIFA. Some people have shifted over the years between the two,
Yeah.
but it tends to be one camp or the other. And maybe like us as people who don't necessarily play NBA Live are discrediting that there are a huge amount of people who play it rather than 2K
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and the fans who just prefer one or the other.
Yeah, I think regardless which one is better or worse, I mean, the ceiling for sports games in general is friggin' huge, especially soccer. You know,
I always underestimate that. I had an Uber driver just yesterday who was like, "Yeah, I just play sports games," and I've met so many people like that. It's so weird.
Well,
to me.
And that's sorry, Miranda. That's the reason, because like every spring, like clockwork, people tweet at me, Ryan, when's Xbox going to do a baseball game? Never, because it actually, as much as I love baseball, it doesn't have the global appeal that
True.
soccer does, that the NBA does.
True.
So that's never going to happen. But
yeah.
yeah.
I was just going to say that for a lot of people that aren't super embedded in the gaming community, they only play just a handful of games, and they spend all their money on those games and those microtransactions because they play them for like the full year, if not longer, and then move on to the next
I
one.
remember going to a party once where there were like a few games industry people and then a bunch who weren't. And they were like, "What kind of games do you play?" And I was like, "Pretty much everything." And they were like, "Do you play like FIFA or Call of Duty?" And I was like, "Not really." And they were like, like they were like treating me like I was like not a real gamer because I didn't play stuff that we
Right.
consider casual. It was really weird. I was like, "Huh, there are a lot of different gamers out there."
Tables have turned.
Yeah, I was like, "That's
Yeah,
interesting."
I don't know if I'd say casual, more just mainstream, but there is definitely like, we are super entrenched in the video game sort of
Right. So
Yeah,
you get
the
used to it. You,
ecosphere.
like,
Yeah.
forget that
So
other
it's like,
people aren't
oh,
like
have you
that.
played, this darling indie game? Have you played Ori and the Blind Forest? No, I've never
Like,
even
what is
heard of
that?
it.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
played Madden? No, but I have heard of it.
It's just strange.
Yeah,
It's like
I tried it at E3
landscape's
one
big.
year and
Yeah. Yeah.
watched my dad play a few times.
there are like those millions of people who just play World of Tanks. They're like keeping that
I mean,
company
it's
afloat.
really interesting, like the people, like everyone who's listening to this, and us, like we have a very different way of consuming games, and that's not how everyone does it. So sometimes people just like one thing.
It's kind of nice to learn that sometimes. Like the same thing goes to NBA Live. That we're like, why are they even making it? It's like, well, there's probably a bunch of people who love it, and we're just like, we just don't know who you are.
Yeah. Everybody knows Minecraft, speaking of games
Yes.
that everyone knows and loves. And there was a
part of it.
really cool ad that Nintendo put out last week with 360 players playing Minecraft with Switch players. There was a super cheesy social media back and forth with the Xbox and the
Hey, you want to come over?
and the
Sure.
Nintendo accounts that was clearly super staged and lame, but
Not at all
nevertheless
scripted.
got the point across. It is really great to see that you can play like what is still it's either the biggest or maybe I don't know, maybe Fortnite overtook it. I'm not sure, but
Probably.
one of the biggest games on the planet, one of the top 3 games on the
I
planet.
think, like YouTube stats right now, Fortnite, Minecraft, and then this one game I've never heard of.
What
It's
is-
like
Something from Tencent in China,
probably from Tencent.
Yeah.
Arena of
Arena
Valor.
Valor.
If you said the name of it, I'd know what it was, but it's not that. It's
Arena of Valor.
Is this a
it's
survival
a
game?
brick something. Like I have no idea what it is.
Oh.
Brick Breaker.
Anyway,
Whatever.
Anyway, Minecraft is still huge, and it's really
Yes.
awesome to see them supporting crossplay.
Yes.
Because now I'm like, but what if I download Minecraft on my Switch and my partner can play on our Xbox?
well,
Oh, in
I
the
was
same room. That's
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Like I
easy.
let my daughter start playing Pokemon Quest, the free to play
nice.
thing on Switch. I know now it's out on phones, but I don't even want her playing with my phone because it's expensive.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd rather if you're gonna drop the $300 thing
Yeah.
rather than the
Daddy, I caught a
$1,000 thing.
Pidgey.
Yeah.
Well, plus what's cool, it's just all touchscreen, so she
Yeah,
doesn't even
it's
have to use
very
buttons.
simple.
So she's having fun with that, and it's like, if she were to get into Minecraft, I could put Minecraft on the Xbox.
Let's play
and
together.
She could be on the Switch, and that would be super cool.
That's so cool.
in the same house.
Yeah.
Like
I
how
was going
great
to
is
ask you
that?
before, is she, because Unravel 2 is co-op, is she old enough that she would be able to play it yet?
She has yet to show an interest in really playing for herself, but she super enjoys watching me play the games, right? So that's the phase we're at right now. Who knows? Maybe she'll never want to actually play for herself, but she is enjoying, like, she super loves Yarny and watching Yarny's story. You can customize, by default, Yarny 1 and 2 are red and blue in the sequel, but you can go right into the menu and just change the colors.
Oh.
So she decided what colors each one was going to be. So that's been good. And I think, as I've said before, I suspect I may, out of fatherly obligation, have to play
Like Kingdom
Hearts 3 just because I think
Yeah.
she's going to super love watching it.
Frozen
Got a lot of
stuff
really
and-
great worlds in there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this Minecraft thing's just fantastic. And I know some people were like, oh, it's like twisting the knife in Sony. Like, no, it's not. It's just a like Sony's not on board, but whatever.
Remember when Sony
Nintendo
did that?
is.
Here's how easy it is to share thing.
Yeah,
and
it's-
it's the same thing. And I think it's like this is also good for everyone. Putting
Yes.
pressure on Sony to get crossplay
Yes.
is good for everyone. It's not just good for these two businesses. It's like everyone benefits by this. All gamers benefit from this. So like I'm happy for them to do it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of devs want it too. So
Absolutely. And then finally this week, before we get to releases and everything but games with gold, because my tweets went unanswered to Major Nelson.
Well, they were answered.
No, he was like, I have no control. Of course, July games with gold are going to get announced like
20
5
minutes
minutes
after we turn the
before.
lights
Hey,
off. Yeah.
That's how it always
it's going to
happens.
happen.
It's like,
But
oh,
they're not announced as of yet. But we got some.
Let me see if they're up.
We got some
yeah,
marketplace.
okay. What if I
Check
check?
Check out.
Solid
check
thing.
something else
Check.
earlier.
In the meantime, I will tell you, relay some good news. Hellblade, of course, developed by new first-party Microsoft studio Ninja Theory, has just cleared 1 million units sold, which is just phenomenal. Because again,
Seriously.
this is a game. I know Brandon, you've been a champion of this game. It's on my list. I have not
Oh
sat
my
down with it.
God, right.
thing
Still
that
in my
summer.
backlog. Yeah,
We
I got to
ready?
do it, but it really is a triple A caliber game made by on very much a not triple A budget by a small but extraordinarily talented studio.
That's so good.
That has really sort of found themselves. I know you're also a big fan of Enslaved.
Yep.
Which was is that 2 games ago for them or just one?
No,
That's
that's one.
two.
Is that their
What was in between?
You put me
I
on
mean,
the
that game was quite a while
put
ago.
me on
but
the spot.
Yeah, just because Enslaved, I know it was like 2011.
It was a while ago.
something like that. It was,
Yeah, Slave was 2011.
I only
like
played
that.
it last year.
Anyway.
Still holds up.
Maybe 2010.
Yeah, so it's just really cool to see this do well because it's debuted on PS4 and PC and came to Xbox One in April, I believe
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I downloaded it when it came to Xbox, and they were doing a campaign where they were raising money for charities. And I think it's also just cool as a game that very thoroughly explores mental health.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really like that this is getting that much recognition and
Yes.
showing like games as a medium can have really interesting takes on any kind of societal issue from mental health to whatever. else.
They made sorry for cutting you off. They made DMC.
Oh, of
That's
course they
right.
did, which
Yeah.
I also really liked.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be doing another one of those now that they're owned by Microsoft and Capcom's doing their own
Capcom's going.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, though it does look like the same version of
Oh,
Dante.
and they
but-
did Disney Infinity. Interesting.
They did Disney Infinity?
Yeah.
Part of it because I know that,
That was
a-
Avalanche.
and the racing bits were Sumo.
Yeah.
So there was a
Interesting.
multi-studio effort.
So they were like just contracting out the
Yeah.
sort of genre types
Yep.
that each studio was good
it
at.
worked because
Yeah.
Disney Infinity was a very good game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm so happy for these guys. I love this game. I gave it a super glowing review on IGN. If you haven't checked it out, please do. If you haven't played it and you're into this kind of stuff, then seriously go check it out. Because like Alana said, it really not only is it superbly polished and that sort of AAA
And
quality.
look at it. You can see it if you're watching
it's
on video
gorgeous.
right now. I mean, this is a game that's if I told you it was made by a 1,000 person development team from Ubisoft, you'd be like, yeah, it's totally looks like that. You can see that on the screen.
Yeah.
And the main character is one of the people who's just one of the devs.
Yeah, she was she was
Right.
their video editor apparently, and she was, I believe, she was standing in
Yeah.
and while they looked for an actress, and she did so well. They were just like, "Well, you're Senua now."
Yeah.
So
Congrats.
yeah,
And she got the award at the Game Awards from Anti Circus, and
I was
like,
so
that would be
seeing her
such an
on
incredible
stage.
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a really good game.
But yeah, I do love that it does have that AAA feel, and like Alana said, it also has a message to it. And there's an amazing 30-minute mini doc on there about all the lengths they went to be inclusive when they were creating a game about mental health issues.
I don't know
and all that.
Is it kind of as a spoiler if we say what the mental health issue is?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Whatever
say,
it is,
play it.
my
Yeah.
dad has the mental health issue that she has. And so, for me, talking to him about this game, he was like, that's incredible. And I haven't been able to show it to him yet, but I'd really love to because I think it, would really impact him a whole lot. And it was really cool for me to be like, oh, I,
No, I
have this perspective of, what you've been through my whole life. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it's cool.
That's the thing, a unique thing about video games. Like you can explore things in such an intimate level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really great that they, of course, went to great lengths to make sure that they got it right too.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And kudos on the design. It's not just the lengths they went to.
Well, it's also a great game. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
I mean, that's the thing, too. You can do both.
Specifically, it is a great game, but specifically the way that they incorporate those afflictions into the game
Sound
mechanics
design and-
themselves,
yeah.
sound design, visual design, things aren't there, or are they there? You're not sure. Is someone talking to you? Is that an actual person? It's just a really, really special game, and it's set against a super cool sort of pseudo-mythological historical fiction background.
They did a lot of things right.
They did a lot of things right. So, hey, go buy it. Go play it.
It is interesting to think about now, too, with them in the Microsoft fold and the success of Hellblade. Again, I haven't played the game. You guys can answer this better than I have. I mean, is there room for this to be a franchise, or was this kind of a one-off? There's clearly momentum to build off of here if it made sense, but if I could just as easily see them starting a new IP.
I
with
don't think it
Microsoft
makes
as
sense.
well.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
said,
what I think,
having not
probably
played
not.
it, it's
Yeah.
I don't
have
I just
the
want
context.
Enslaved 2.
I don't see we see another Hellblade, but I think from what you were saying, a platform to build off of. I think the pedigree of Hellblade is the platform in which they build off of.
Yeah.
So Ninja Theory announces next game is going to blow people's minds
Right.
because
Yeah.
Hellblade.
Potentially, yeah.
Daisy.
Yeah,
You're
Daisy's
welcome.
Chewing on wires.
She was
now.
sleeping for a
So-
bit, but not anymore.
she is up and about now.
Trying to keep
All
her
right,
head up. Look at the
it's
camera.
almost time to get out of here.
If we wanna-
First, I go to Alana for her final marketplace report.
Oh.
What can we play/buy?
Oh, were Games with Gold not out yet?
No, I checked.
Okay.
Nothing yet. Unravel 2 is free for 10 hours, enough to finish the game from now until July 30th. Plus, I don't know how to say, is it Lumines? Luminous? Luminous. That's why everyone says it differently. The remastered version of that is $15, and the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit is free. Plus, a playable demo for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is due out tomorrow for Kickstarter backers, which is basically Castlevania.
Yeah,
which is
from the
awesome.
creator of Castlevania.
Yeah. It's actually surprising to me that they didn't infringe on some IP, but whatever. June Games with Gold. We still have all of these?
Well, there's,
Yeah, only
there's-
just-
I mean,
As
as
of
of today,
today.
I mean, we're still
Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia until the 30th on Xbox One. Smite Gold Bundle until July 15th on Xbox One. Lego Indiana Jones 2 The New Adventures until the 30th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And then we got a bunch of Game Pass editions for July, which is actually really cool. Dirt 4 Zombie Army Trilogy Abzu, which is a really good game.
Yep.
Shadow Complex, also a really good game. Oblivion.
Shadow Complex for free. If you haven't played it, it's
remastered.
one
too.
of the best Metroidvania games of the last 10 years.
I said something to annoy you and you didn't hear it.
Oh, good.
I just made a quip.
That's still the ear that's messed up. So
I said Oblivion. It's fine.
What if
Fallout
we
3,
played,
my favorite
What
Fallout.
if we play Fallout instead?
Fallout's very good. Human Fall Flat. I don't know what Human Fall Flat is. Does anyone?
nope.
But
I
you
don't
can
know, but
find
it's
out
free
with
if you have
Pass.
Game
Flat
Pass.
human.
It's part of your Game
Yeah.
Pass subscription.
Those are all on July 1, and then Bomber Crew on July 10, and Warhammer Vermintide 2 on July 11.
That's pretty cool. That
I
game
think
just
that's all
came
really
out
great.
a couple months ago. So.
Yeah, all of that's good stuff.
Excellent.
Keep
All
up
right.
the good work.
So here's the deal with the Unlock Block trivia. It is June. We're halfway through the year. Alana has what is currently a 4-point advantage. Can you guys catch up
Wait,
over
there's
the
no
course?
way. How many points does everyone else have?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We've got Alana at 10, Brandon at 6, Miranda right there at 5 as well.
Oops.
So
We're not gonna.
I mean, it sounds like a lot, but we're like right on our heels.
if you add another point total to that before you leave here, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to.
So
Nah.
let's be real.
Nah.
I'm probably gonna get this one wrong.
I don't think I
You're
know
gonna
this one
stay
either.
ahead.
Well, I confess I'm a huge Splinter Cell fan. I did not remember this
No,
one.
I don't know this at all.
But here we go. Nick Smith from Bath in the UK asks this Splinter Cell question. In the original Splinter Cell, for of course the original Xbox, what well-known brand produced Sam Fisher's OPSAT device? So, in the game there was branding.
Yeah.
You see that, it's
Yeah.
been going on for years. So Sam's OPSAT, was it an HP product, Palm, Nokia, or Microsoft?
I have no idea. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark based on I used to work in mobile development, so based on the time frame and the hot stuff, I'm really surprised like RIM isn't on this.
It's a BlackBerry.
Yeah, like a research in motion device. I'm gonna say Palm.
Okay.
Based
Brandon?
on your exact
Oh,
same
hold on.
logic, I'm saying Nokia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nokia.
Yeah.
I was in between Palmer.
I love your
Nokia.
accent.
Oh, well, you guys say Nokia or whatever?
Yeah,
We do.
Yeah.
which is actually now owned by Microsoft. So
I'm going to see
Two
Nokia.
Nokias.
Okay.
Copy a lot now.
All right. Well, there is a correctness in the room. And it's
Brandon,
from
isn't
Brandon.
Hey!
Yeah.
First time I've ever been called the correctness in the room.
See that,
Now, all right,
previous
you're
work
on
experience
3
coming in.
point, 3 point difference here as we say goodbye to Alana. So you've got 6 months to make up 3 points.
I feel like it'll be fine.
I
I'm
don't,
just gonna have to come back a bunch.
what if we just
don't
purposely
know.
get them all wrong?
like you're just like, hey,
really
surprise,
got
Alana's
happy,
calling
guys.
in this week.
Trophy would be really nice. Yeah.
Live on the phone, Alana Pierce.
No!
Can I just call in just for trivia every week?
I'll just
That-
like
That's what Mitch said.
Yeah.
He wanted to call in every single week. What is she? Does she have something?
She's got a roll of paper towels.
That's
loose.
fine.
Look at you, you sweet.
easy.
Come here.
Well, what were we
Uh,
talking
so,
about? We were talking about Mitch?
no,
do
I
you want to talk about Dota?
Yes.
Right?
Okay,
It's not
so
yet. It's
my
not called.
team just qualified for the international aid. I'm very excited. I was super worried because they lost a game they probably shouldn't have.
Is
But
that your team?
my favorite team, yes.
That is why she
I
was
want them
leashed
to-
up. For
I want them to go far. I don't know if they can win TI, but I want them to do well.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
You'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. We'll be in Vancouver. Let me know.
Oh, it's in Vancouver this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Where was it last year? It was
It's usually in Seattle.
Seattle, right?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is your Dota minute.
This is yours.
You go
Dota
start by
minute.
the coalition while you're
Be
there.
careful because I jammed
Yeah,
my
wait,
brand.
I want to say hello so I can see how the team's doing.
She's got a roll of tape.
So while Daisy
This is
being
going down in
wrinkled-
flames pretty quickly.
Actually, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you plan on playing for summer games? Like, I think that is just an interesting space we have now. For like, I just finished Dark Souls. I think next I really want to replay through Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I'm in a
Which
weird
is
position
tough.
where I can play whatever I want now, which is like the most freedom I've had in a long time. I'm definitely planning to play State of Decay. I want to play Sea of Thieves. I want to play more of Monster Hunter still.
Wow, so many games we can play together. Because
Yeah.
I do want to go back to Monster Hunter.
And I'm still playing The Witcher 3.
Brandon and I actually got to play together for a little bit, and it was really awesome.
what did we play?
Monster Hunter.
Yes, we did.
That
Sorry, I
and
was looking at this
then-
monster right now.
Sea of Thieves, definitely want to get back to that.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
actually
damn.
a lot of friends who still play Sea of Thieves, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to keep playing.
Oh,
I think she's doing great. What's the problem?
she's just chewing on my arm now. No big deal.
Does she want to go for a walk or something?
She's ready to not be in here anymore for sure.
So, what kind of games does Daisy like?
Anything
any of that
with
GR?
chewing,
True.
Just anything that involves chewing.
Yeah.
stealing shoes
Okay.
is a big pastime at our house.
Funnily enough, that is a game for dogs. They'll be like, "You see me take this? Try and get it off me. Try it."
Well, she knows that I'll then take
So
she'll get bribed a trade with a biscuit. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna drop this now. Give me-
You've,
gonna
you've
pick you up
positively
if you keep trying to
reinforced
climb up
her.
All right, this is super horrible for our podcast
sorry,
listeners.
guys.
So I'm going to let Alana go last. You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. I've got IGN Unfiltered up, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Would be very grateful if you would give that a listen. There are now 31 episodes, so it's like well over 40 hours
Oh.
of developer interviews and
That's awesome.
yeah,
Congratulations.
super proud of that.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you who July's guest is. I think you're going to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're gonna like it. It's gonna be good. You're gonna want to listen and or watch from wherever you go.
There's a
next.
guest you've spoken to me about before that I keep holding on to and be like, "Is it this person yet? Is it this one yet?"
Well, we'll talk in a minute. But yeah,
Stay
very,
tuned, I guess.
very
All
happy
hope.
to welcome Josh Sawyer on from Obsidian Entertainment for our June episode. And then I think that's it for me, Brandon.
Hey, I'm Brandon Tyrell. You can find me on Twitter with that at Brandon Tyrell. I am just getting caught up from E3. Really not a whole lot of crazy new stuff to report, but we got a lot of stuff in the works. So
Good stuff. Miranda.
I'm at Havoc Rose on Twitter, Instagram, and pretty much everywhere else. That's Havoc with a K. When I said I was full of life this beginning of the episode, complete lie. I am very exhausted.
she was basically had one eye open before
Head
the
on the
cameras
table.
went on.
So as soon as E3 finishes, everyone's like, yay, we're kind of done for a little bit. I'm like, well, time to plan Anime Expo. So if you care about anime at all, there's some video game stuff there this year. So I'm trying very hard to make sure everything is covered. So I really appreciate it if you kind of follow along. That starts 4th of July weekend. So that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll have a ton of coverage up. So,
So
please.
after 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
just
okay,
that
not this
following
weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
On that note, real quick, there might not be an Unlocked next week. It's
Right.
Still, I'm going to be off for like a little bit. We got that 4th of July is smack dab in the middle of
It's
the
a
week
Wednesday.
here.
Yeah.
So
we record on Wednesdays.
Yeah, we're still sort of figuring out if we if we will. So if there's no show next week, apologies in advance.
Yeah.
But
still figuring
we'd
that
be
out.
back.
Week where you can't get a point. Yes.
Maybe it'll just be
Or-
Miranda and I playing 20 questions. Point for you. Point for me. Point for you.
Great shirt today. Point for you.
Yeah, great. I love your hair.
I
Point
should
for
add-
you.
You guys
Oh.
steal Ryan's phone.
If there is an episode next week, it might be Thursday. It might be
Yeah.
later than usual. So just setting everybody's expectations.
Well, Miranda and I will figure
Happy
out. early
4th of
next week.
July, regardless of whether or not we're here.
It's a real roundabout way to celebrate freedom.
All right. Alana, take us home.
I'm at Charlotte on all of the things. I didn't prepare anything.
That's okay.
Every time that I'm doing this, I'm just thank you all so much for watching and for the support over the past 3 years that I've been in IGN. You'll still be able to find me in all the video game places. I'll still be going to PAXs and E3s and all that stuff. And one thing that I'm really excited about is I'm going to be covering games a lot more on my YouTube channel, if you care about seeing that. And hopefully I can sneak back in this office and just bug you guys a couple
Yeah, I hope
It's
so
happened
too.
before. So
Well, Fran already asked me. He's like, if you ever want to come back, that's totally cool.
I highly recommend it. Just come.
I think
hang
there's
out.
I
miss you
think
guys
I
a
think
lot.
there's a Jared Petty stalking the halls like right now.
I see him every week, so
He's here
comes by a
literally
lot.
twice a week.
It's very
Yeah.
Which
nice.
we love because Jared's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the precedence has been set. I'm sure we'll see.
Reverend.
I hope so. And I'm
Always
actually,
part of the
I
family.
have content scheduled to go up on IGN until September. I'm working on next
Yeah.
month's IGN first.
Yep.
So all of that will be up through July.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Your name and voice will actually be haunting the site for
For a while.
a good little
I'm pretty
while.
excited. It's going to be like 2 weeks after I've left, and I'll be like, check this out. Still here. There's another exclusive in September, so
I love
that stuff
the
will
i-
still be there.
I love the idea that you tweet out IGN links in like,
I totally
like
will.
2 months from now.
In 2 years, I'll be like, had this schedule.
Like, hey, remember when I was there?
I'm definitely still planning to write for
Where's
IGN.
that?
so-
Do you know who's taking over Daily Fix from you?
No idea. That's
yet.
someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out. Have fun. You're hosting? Dan Parkhurst is hosting?
Senioritis. It's a beautiful thing. We all get it when we're on our
Yeah.
way out from.
You
work.
should be at the beach already.
Pretty excited about going to the beach.
All right. We will miss you. Thank you for everything.
Thank
You've
you.
been
Yeah,
a
thank
phenomenal
you,
part of the
Alana.
show and of our team. I appreciate you. I will
Thank
miss you.
Miss you too.
And yeah, you have to come back and visit Daisy.
Yes.
Please do.
you
When
were
I-
pointing at me.
Visit Daisy, my friend.
It's like I'll just
No.
talk to her on Twitter.
Coordinate whenever I'm back in this office that she is also here, because this is like I would have been a lot more emotional this episode, but I think having a dog in the room has been like everyone's
Therapy
fine.
dog.
Just
Two
everyone's
dogs.
totally fine.
She is a therapy dog. Well, she's in training.
Yeah.
We're on our way.
Does she have her vest and all that yet?
No. Not we're still. Yeah, she's too young yet,
Early
but we're
stages, got it.
we're working towards that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. For Alana, Miranda, and Brandon, I'm Ryan. This was Unlocked 351. We will maybe see you next week, and if so, it might be late, but if not, we'll be back after the 4th of July. Bye. Happy summer.
Bye.